the April edition of Feeding Our Faith. Now, for this April edition, I have MaryEllen McBee with me today. MaryEllen is a member of our staff, particularly the formation staff, and does a lot with not only RCIA, but adult religious ed and the adult portion of WCC. She's going to help me make some salmon in puff pastry. One of the first things we need to do is we need to make, there's a sauce that goes on the inside of this dish around the salmon. And what we first do is we take about a half cup of mayonnaise. Now, once you have that, you will actually combine in it the zest of 1 lemon. And then you'll take some scallions, or actually green onions that you've chopped the green parts off. And we did about 2 bunches of green onions, and you'll put that in there. And then you will put in some capers. Now, the capers you'll want to put in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of capers. I like a lot of capers, and so we're going to put in almost the entire jar there. While I'm doing this, MaryEllen, our topic for this month of April is going to be anti-Semitism. Now, what is anti-Semitism? I mean, I think some people have heard the word but don't understand what it means, and in particular, you're going to be looking at anti-Semitism in the Passion narratives, I believe.
Yes. Well, and it's kind of a misnomer the way that people use it most of the time, because there's anti-Judaism and anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is based on their ethnicity, not their religion. Anti-Judaism is based on their religion. And what we talk about really in the Bible is anti-Judaism.
Okay. Because now are there people that think that the Bible is anti-Semitic, or?
They do. They still think that Jews are a God killer. That's, you know, the killer of Christ, and killing God is not a good thing. So that they're doomed forever to wander and not have a home place, and that's just not correct at all. We have to remember Jesus was a very faithful and devout Jew. So why would that happen? The Jews are the chosen people of God. God wouldn't punish them or ignore them, you know. So we have to look at the history of what's going on when the when the New Testament Gospels and things are being written, and what this people are thinking and what's going on socially. And okay. That's where we get it. And so for 1,000, 2,000 years now, there's been a lot of misnomer this has been used to justify bad acts.
Now, while you were talking about our topic, what I did was I actually salted and peppered both sides of the salmon fillets. Now, these salmon fillets are actually salmon fillets without skin on them. Now, some people like to leave the skin on, and you're welcome to do that. I found, though, that it tastes a little bit better if you take the skin off. And you can either have, when you buy the salmon, you can either ask for the butcher to do it for you, or if you'd like to save a penny or two, then you can definitely do it yourself. Now, what I have here is puff pastry, and you can find it normally in the freezer section. Now, you'll want to let it warm up to room temperature, and you'll open it up like this, and it'll have some little sheets of paper in it, which we can put off to the side, and basically this will be your puff pastry. Now, what we're going to do is just kind of press it for the seams where the folds were and kind of get that a little more even. You might want to pay attention to the size of your salmon fillets and kind of the shape of them. These are kind of a little long, and so what we'll do is we're going to use probably that portion of the puff pastry. So what we do is we take a little bit of this, we'll put it right here, a little ways away from the edge, and then we will put our salmon fillet on top of that. Then what we will do is we will then wrap the puff pastry over this. And now you're going to have a little bit extra, which you can tear or cut off. We should just be able to tear this pretty easily. So once you have put that over, what you'll want to do is you will also want to fold up the seams here on the sides so that none of the stuff will get out. And then once you've done all of that, you'll take it, flip it over, and put it seam side down in your baking dish. Okay, now you'll repeat this for each one of the salmon fillets until you've finished. So once we have all of our salmon fillets wrapped, the next thing that we will do is we take an egg wash. So you basically take 1 egg that you've kind of scrambled up, and then we will take a pastry brush and we'll brush the tops of these with the egg wash. Now what this does is this is going to make it really nice and golden brown once it finishes, which is always looks really pretty. Now if you want, even at this point, you could actually even do a little design if you want. Sometimes people will take a knife and they will actually cut the tops, and you can do that, just kind of a little incision right there. If you want to kind of get a little decorative, a little fancy, you can do that. And then do your egg wash on top. But that's not necessary if you,
No,
if you don't want
it
to.
tastes good just the way, no matter what way you do it.
Yes. All right. And so once you have coated them in egg wash, we will put them in the oven at 325 until they're finished. Now, a reminder, you can find all of these recipes on the feedingourfaith.com website. You're welcome to come to Feeding Our Faith. We will have on April the 2nd. The dish, of course, was salmon and puff pastry. Feel free to make this and bring it and share it. Show us how you did. And MaryEllen McBee will be there with us to talk to us about anti-Semitism and the Passion narratives, and to share with us a little bit more. So we hope to see you on April the 2nd.